Well, I know I'm excited. Let's kick things off by bringing in Inferno Intel wrestling reporter Nick Zeller-Singh. Nick, how are you doing? And let's kick things off, and I'll start us off with something I saw on Twitter from this last weekend, and it comes from former ASU receiver N'Keal Harry after he and the New England Patriots took on the Seattle Seahawks in Week 2. This photo clearly depicts the chemistry Harry has formed with Cam Newton early on in this season. The two connected for 8 receptions and 72 yards, which were both career highs for Harry in the NFL. Hello and welcome to this Tuesday edition of Cronkite Sports Now. I'm Adam Noel. Thanks for joining us. With Halloween upon us, some might be thinking about the Monster Mash. But after the Cardinals' 38-10 win over the Dallas Cowboys last night, it's hard not to think about the Cardinals Smash. Cronkite News reporters Rachel Phillips and Reed Harmon take us through the key players that have led the Cards to a 4-2 record in today's Cardinals Corner.
James Malamus, joined here by my partner, Adam Noel, Arizona State. Dominant victory, 97-64 over the visiting Washington Huskies.
I think it had to be their overall defensive effort from top to bottom. They were able to force Washington into a lot of bad threes, and it really disrupted the flow of the Huskies offense. I don't think they were able to get comfortable at all from the beginning to the end, and especially when it came to the latter part of the first half, into that second half, ASU widened the gap by a lot because of that defensive effort.
Hello and welcome to this Tuesday edition of Cronkite Sports Now. I'm Adam Noel. Thanks for joining us. As the Arizona COVID-19 cases continue to rise, the Phoenix City Council is set to decide whether to cancel roughly 30 upcoming youth sports tournaments between now and February. With the WNBA playoffs on the horizon, the Phoenix Mercury are at a bit of a crossroads. Recent winners of a league-best 4 straight games, momentum is on their side. But when it comes to the health of the roster, not so much. Although Hartley and Griner have been missed, their absences have triggered some scoring opportunities for others. Skylar Diggins-Smith has cracked 20-plus scoring in 3 straight games, and her impact has not gone unnoticed from her teammates. Just a season ago, Shelby Dobmeyer was a member of the Arizona State volleyball team. But today, she finds herself in a much different role with the Sun Devils.
Symptoms started coming on the spring of my freshman year, fractures throughout my bone in my shins.
Those fractures led to doctors telling Dobmeyer she would have to decide between surgery and retirement because of the extent of the injury.
Basically, they told me that if I were to continue playing at this level, that my bones would just end up breaking in half. Kind of like a stick would crack in half because they're just not strong enough.
And at just 20 years old, Dobmeyer decided to retire from the sport of volleyball. But instead of leaving ASU, Dobmeyer chose to stay with the team in a role as a student assistant coach.
People don't get this. A 20-year-old being a coach in the Pac-12 doesn't happen often. It's a wonderful experience, and I just want to take advantage of it.
And while the change hasn't been easy, Dobmeyer has done her best transitioning to a coaching mindset this season.
I think she's done a really good job, keeping the distance from making it professional when she needs to, and then also at the same time being a friend. So she still has the same friends she's always had on this team. But when they tried to get some information from her, she said that she told them, "Don't ask me anything you wouldn't ask Sanya."
But even now as a coach, her teammates still feel her connection to the group.
Shelby, she have very good energy. So when you're a player and you have good energy, it's different when coach. So sometimes when she sees that we are down, so it's easier for her to come and lift us up.
For Dobmeyer, it was all about staying positive despite her situation.
My sport, playing volleyball, was taken away from me, but I'm just trying to see the good out of it and what I can do to help the people around me get better.
For Inferno Intel, Adam Noel reporting.
Rest of the season, the Rockets is Ayton.
Although he's been known across the NBA for his skills above the rim, DeAndre Ayton is dishing an assist to the Banner Estrella Medical Center.
Great catch from Ayton.
The Phoenix Sun Center partnered with Banner Estrella to transform the center's respite rooms.
So being able to provide them a safe space where they can remove their PPE really helped provide them an opportunity to decompress, to relax, recharge.
Among the added amenities to the new respite rooms are massage chairs, tablets with a preloaded Spotify playlist, and lots of Puma socks for the Banner Estrella team. One of the rooms was also outfitted with Suns gear, including a framed and signed Ayton jersey.
In partnership with DA is really kind of how this came to be. And the team was really overwhelmed with this particular support.
So I'm actually in the room that they added the jersey in. And it just kind of like when you come in here, it's just there's other people thinking about you.
Banner Estrella has been one of the leaders in the fight against COVID-19 here in Arizona. So far in 2020, the medical center has discharged over 1,100 COVID patients. For Kirsten Halliday, a speech-language pathologist at Banner Estrella, the ability to take a break amidst the prolonged fight is everything.
And it's just a good minute to like take your mask off and breathe. So it's just a really good way to get away from the hospital for a few quick minutes.
And this isn't the first time Ayton has partnered with Banner. During the NBA season hiatus, Ayton catered 300 meals and donated 1,000 pairs of slides to Banner Desert Medical Center. The Sun Center continues to give back to his local community.
Right at Jordan. He's attacking.
Adam Noel, Cronkite News. Wyatt Miyamoto is a typical California teen. He loves baseball and has been waiting all year to play. But back home, the 14-year-old isn't able to because of COVID. Instead of staying home, he and his teammates have made the trip all the way to Arizona.
Yeah, everybody was ready to play. I mean, I feel like a lot of people also wanted a trip because, a lot of people have been cooped up at home, so it's just fun to get out and go somewhere new.
Miyamoto is a member of the Benicia Wolfpack, a team located just north of San Francisco. California health guidelines have restricted youth teams to only being able to practice and allow for zero competition. That means no games, no tournaments, and no seasons for hundreds and hundreds of teams. That has left the Wolfpack struggling to find places to play.
Extremely frustrating, yeah, it really is. We just got an email yesterday saying that any upcoming tournaments for this year probably will not happen. I don't anticipate anything changing in California until the new year at best.
For the Wolfpack, that left only one option: come to Arizona.
We're super appreciative that Arizona is allowing the kids to play, and we hope that California can see, what's going on here and how safe it is and the precautions, and maybe we'll be able to play in California.
The Grand Canyon State's Department of Public Health is allowing youth sports competition. As a result, the state has hosted a number of local baseball tournaments. And when you look at the teams signing up for those tournaments, one thing immediately stands out. A lot come from out of state. Top Choice Baseball here in Arizona is one of many who've taken in the extra teams.
The Valley is more of a destination point for them. No matter what's open at the time, I still think this is a place where they either have family or there's just a lot more opportunities for them to do stuff outside the ball field as well to just help accommodate their trip.
And those numbers are similar when you look at other cities in Arizona. Places like Phoenix, Tucson, and Yuma have all experienced the trend. But Peralt says that it isn't a surprise to see lots of California teams scheduled through the coming weeks.
There's really not a time frame on when they're going to be able to return to normalcy as well for those teams. And I've continued to see that in signups this winter as well, January and as well into March.
With COVID-19 cases surging across the country, it doesn't seem like California will be nearing a decision on letting youth teams compete. But in Arizona, tournaments like here in Peoria are still being played through the remainder of 2020.
The tournament that was posted when they said that we were going to play at a minor league complex like this, which is beautiful, it was a no-brainer for us.
And in the case of Yuma, the city is so close to the California border that making the trip from San Diego only takes around 2.5 hours. It's been a popular spot for California teams looking to make a shorter drive than, say, Phoenix or Tucson. And while the tourism has benefited the city of Yuma, there are still some businesses that have taken advantage of the extra foot traffic, namely the hotel industry.
Like one day I was coming and I was talking to the hotel because I was actually staying in a hotel for a while, and I went to check in Monday morning like I always had. And they said, "Oh, we're so sorry, we don't have any rooms. We were completely 100% sold out last night."
Hotels located in Yuma are charging upwards of $300 or more a night for weekends in November. Those aren't typical rates in Yuma for youth sports teams coming in from out of town.
Instead of just being, a couple of athletes with, their coaches or whatever, yeah, we're seeing entire teams worth of families coming to Yuma.
But for parents, the expensive stay doesn't dissuade them from making the journey across state lines for the chance to play.
The kids, they've been practicing all year, so for the entire year 2020, and they've never been able to play. So we felt that the kids, they worked hard, that they deserved to at least play in a tournament.
For kids like Miyamoto, be it practice or games, he's just happy to be back on the field.
I'm thankful that we get to practice because, that's a lot of fun. It's better than just sitting at home. So, I think this is enough that we get to, go out and play a tournament.
It will take everyone working together to maintain a safe and healthy environment on the diamond. Adam Noel, Cronkite Sports Report.
American Leadership Academy of Queen Creek, can I hear you one more time? I can remember when we first started Friday Night Fever back in 1990. No way did I ever think that this show would still be running today.
But now in its 30th season, Friday Night Fever has become a mainstay of the 12 News weekend programming. A big part of that coming from anchor Bruce Cooper, who was there from the beginning. Cooper recently announced it will be his final season hosting the show this fall.
This has been a gradual thing. And so over the last 4 or 5 years, I said, okay, my contract's coming up. I think that would be my last. So August of 2020, sometime around the end of the Olympics, I will say good night to the TV world.
And with that goodbye, Cooper will bring an end to a 34-year career working in the Valley, and to a place he holds near and dear to his heart.
That's what Channel 12 has been to me, my second family. Look, I've had some very difficult times from my personal life that I went through, and to have the people rally around me, to show me the love, the community as well. I mean, look, I know that I was in the right place.
A place Cooper has called home his entire life. A Tucson native, Cooper is proud of the effect his presence has had on growing high school football not only in Arizona, but nationwide.
Let me tell you something. It's really special, and to see how football has grown here in the state to where it is a must stop for all Power 5 conferences. Oh, man, that's proud. That's proud. Makes the native proud. I like it. Great job. Well, Coach Edwards, obviously you're doing a phenomenal job out there. I mean, what is the...
And although it might be his final year with Friday Night Fever, Cooper doesn't want the show to focus on him this season.
I wanted to make sure that my final season here didn't usurp or take away from the intended purpose. It's for the kids. It's for the schools. It's that. I don't want to become the subject or object of attention. Don't want that. So what we've decided is the very, very last show that we do. We always do an award show. On that award show, then they'll make it the last half of it about me, and we'll talk about some of my memories and things like that.
Those memories commemorating one of the Valley's finest at what he does. For AZ Preps 365, Adam Noel reporting. Hello and welcome to a new season of Inside the Inferno. I'm Adam Noel, and alongside me is Joey Vaca. Joey, super excited to have you here. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, Adam, but I'll tell you what. I'm so excited that we already have so much to talk about in our first show back this semester.
That we do. Well, let's get things started by talking some ASU men's hoops. The Sun Devils head into the final week of the regular season and are coming off an 18-point loss to USC. To talk about the team, let's bring in Inferno Intel basketball reporter Keith Dotley. Keith, how are you doing?
Thanks, CJ. James Malamus, joined by Adam Noel here in Las Vegas. Adam, Arizona State controlled the entire first half. In the second half, it was all Cal. What happened in that game to change the tides?
Well, I think it was a big push by Cal in that third and fourth quarter. They went on a 20-0 run. They ended up taking back the lead, and they'd only led the game probably in the opening minutes, but they took a 48-46 lead going into that fourth quarter, and I think that's really what shifted the momentum, and the energy of the crowd was on their side, and it just seemed like ASU couldn't buy a basket and couldn't get a foul call at all on either end of the court. So I think it really was that second half, the push by Cal, that really sealed the fate for the Sun Devils.
I'm going to pick something that a lot of people are talking about this week. That's Toledo transfer Marion Jackson announcing his commitment to ASU men's basketball next season. Jackson was the MAC Player of the Year, averaging 18.1 points, 6.1 rebounds, and 5.9 assists per game for the Rockets. He'll look to make an immediate impact for the Devils, and he looks to fill a number of voids in the backcourt. Jackson already projects to take a starting role in Bobby Hurley's lineup for next season.
That's crazy, Adam, how the player of the year for the MAC is now joining the pack and joining.
Last Friday marked a historic first for ASU women's basketball. At home against USC, the Sun Devils went into their first ever triple overtime game in program history. In a game that featured neither team shooting above 40% from the floor, the two were locked at 51 apiece at the end of regulation. What followed was a back-and-forth affair that spanned over 3 additional periods. That was until ASU's Riley Richardson drained a game-winning 3 with 1.9 seconds left, sealing a comeback win for the Sun Devils. The victory also marked the 500th career win of Charlie Thorne's head coaching career. Now let's head out to Desert Financial, Reno, where our very own CJ Chidas recapped the action. Moving from the pitch to the diamond, ASU softball is already making headlines with the 6-0 season start. The 15th ranked Sun Devils opened up with 4 straight wins at the Kajikawa Classic for their first sweep of the tournament since 2017. Most recently, ASU captured a doubleheader sweep of Cal State Fullerton, with the Sun Devils mashing home run after home run against the Titans. And Game 2 delivered head coach Trisha Ford her 300th career victory with the program. Ford said that she didn't even know about the milestone until after the game, and that it's always been about the coaches, program, and players. Next up for the Sun Devils is the GCU Purple Classic at Farrington Stadium on February 26th to the 28th. Well, that'll do it for today's show. Big thanks to everyone who came on and to all those who helped out here in the studio. Be sure to check out all their work at infernointel.com.